Alright everybody, this is going to be a quick video showing some of the methods to edit this material and export for your own projects. If you've watched our other videos for our other assets, then you probably don't need to watch this. It's the exact same pattern, the exact same steps. But if you're new to the Infinity Series procedural PBR assets, then definitely check this out. So go ahead and load the demo scene. We have our barrel here, which is one model. We do have a few textures that we'll get into. You can resize this if you'd like. Right now it's 1.5 units tall, I think 1 unit wide, and it has the procedural material on it already. So let's click into the procedural material, expand that, and we're going to use number 1. Now we have 2, so you can drag 1, which is by default, or you can drag number 2 over and use that if you'd like, whichever you prefer. We'll just go with number 1 for now for this demo. Now, one thing I like to do is change to standard shader, not the specular setup. Unity likes to start with the specular setup. And because I always forget at the end, I'm going to click Generate All Outputs Now. Some of these steps take a while. Unity may slow down during some of these steps. I'm going to speed through it in the video, but if your computer seems like it's taking a while, just hold out a little bit longer. Sometimes it can take a minute or two for Unity to catch up and build all the textures. Alright, now that that's done, let's look at our options here. If you open up the main option, we have wood material, metal material, and rotate wood. Now, each one of these has a default. Each of the materials has its own default, and then a bunch of options. We have custom input and then a bunch of woods for the wood, custom input and a bunch of metals for the metal. Now if you do want to use your own material, if you happen to have one, the input wood and metal are the area where you'll put in those texture maps. Make sure they're all inside and then select the custom input option. Now let's check out a couple of one of these woods. You can see a bunch more in the other video we have. Yes, there we go. Now one thing you'll notice, these woods are horizontal, so let's click this rotate wood button. There we go. That's much more barrel-like now. Next step is let's change the metal. Let's use maybe metal 3. There we go. It's very newish looking metal and wood, which is great. If I want a new barrel, this would be perfect. However, let's edit this a bit so that it's not the new barrel. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, this is going to be moved up here eventually, but the base roughness of the metal and wood for the defaults are controlled right here, just so you know. Now, wood weathering, let's take this up a bit. Let's try adding some dust. It's a very light effect that happens mostly on the top, it looks like. Let's see what. There we go, yeah, you can see it mostly on the top as if it's been sitting there for a while. That's a neat effect. We'll bring that down just a little bit. And let's make it a little dirty as well. Affects the edges there. Not too dirty, just a little bit, like it's been leaking a little bit here and there. Some general aging to the wood. You can go really old and include with that some varnish peeling. It's a very subtle. It needs to stay at the bottom to the lower numbers to really work well. Now, desaturation and brightness are for the under varnished areas. So if you bring that up, you can see anything that doesn't have varnish will be desaturated. Same thing with the brightness and darkness of the parts that have lost their varnish. So we'll keep those around default. That's pretty good. Now it definitely looks like an older barrel. Maybe we'll put some varnish back on just a little bit. There we go. Alright, and now let's work with the metal. Metalware, we can add some dust. It's going to be a very similar look to the wood dust. Not too obvious, that is. Add some dirtiness to the metal. And we're going to add some rust. Now this metal also looks like it's been in a while. Now notice the rust right here, it doesn't reflect because of course rust is not a metal anymore. So that's the power of the PBR right there. Now let's add a couple other things. We've got the ground dirt. This will definitely help bring it into the the scene that you put it in. You can go down from the lowest to the highest. So we'll put it up a little bit. Level is how thick it is. It also controls a little bit on the height. Contrast is the contrast of the dirt. We'll bring that up a little bit. And let's match this base right there. Maybe that one. There we go. So now it kind of looks like it's gotten mud all over it. And the roughness here is reflective, how reflective it is. If the higher the value, the less reflective. The lower the value, the more reflective. So if we want to make it look like it's muddy and not dry, we'll bring that down a little bit. Now ceiling dirt is just like ground dirt, but it comes down from above. I like to include this for different options. In one game I'm working on, what's in the barrel is determined by the color of the barrel, so the player can know, which stat boost they're going to get or whatnot. But it's got the same options as the ground dirt. So I'm just going to keep this here and make it rough so it's more dry. There we go. And it's going to change the color to blue, change to white. We'll do a green. Of course, the alpha is something that can be used to change the effect a little bit as well. Alright, so we got green on the top. Now, dirt is surface dirt. It's similar to the other dirts, but it's pretty much all around the entire model. Grunge amount and levels both should go up for this. It's just a more old looking. Let's bring this up to maybe a bright yellow so we can really see the effect. There we go. The level. And grunge amount. So we're going to keep this pretty low. But I like that it's in the cracks. And we're going to change this, bring down the alpha just a little bit, and then change it to a dirty, dirty brown. There we go. Alright, so now I have a barrel that I want to use in my game. It looks completely different than most anyone else's barrels that they'll have in their game, and that's pretty damn cool. So I need to export this for use with the standard shader, or if I'm using 4.6 or before, legacy shaders. I've already clicked Generate all outputs. I'm just going to go up to the gear in the top right corner of the inspector and say Export Bitmaps. You'll want to choose a folder, perhaps a new folder. We're going to call this one Exported Textures. And for each one, you're going to want to create a new folder as well, because the exported maps will all be the same name. So they'll be a lot more organized if you just name all the folders now. We'll name this one Dirty Old Barrel of Endurance. Green equals endurance in the games that I play. And choose. It won't take too long for Unity to produce the maps, but you may need to leave Unity and come back to get Unity to recognize that it has new images to import. Let's go into our exported maps and Dirty Old Barrel. We're going to create a new material, and we'll name this Dirty Old Barrel of Endurance. And let's bring that material onto our barrel. It's white. Alright, so selecting this material, we have all the empty maps here. It's a standard shader, so let's expand this so I can see all our maps. Alright, you're not going to use all of these maps. If you do use the specular version, we've got some specular and glossy maps for you. For the standard shader, however, we need an albedo, which is our base color. Bring that over. And then our metallic. We're going to use the metallic roughness one. The roughness value is actually built into the alpha of this. The regular metallic does not have that. So we'll bring the metallic roughness over. And then the normal map. Once you do that, you're going to have to click the Fix Now button. And then the height map. The ambient occlusion. We don't have any emission, so we'll leave that blank. So there's our barrel. all standard shaderized, ready to go in any game. It's perfect for mobile as well, as it's only 464 tries on this barrel, and we do have level of details if you feel like having the barrel show from far away, like that far away or whatnot, down to only 98 tries, which is kind of small. So that's pretty much it. If you like what you see here, if you like this barrel, then please check out everything else we have. We have a few things right now as of this video, and we're working on a whole bunch more, including environments, more props, and a whole bunch of fully animated characters for you to use in your games. Let us know what you want. Let us know what you're looking for. Let us know what we can do better, and we will do our best to do exactly that. We love making assets. It's super fun, and we want to keep doing it. So go to the forums, let us know what you think, and give a good review on this item, and we'll love you forever. Thanks, guys.